Bound interviews Maxcavalera. Back in March, I had an extreme luck to sit down with one of all-time heroes, Maxcaballe라. Max was in Vancouver with Soulfly touring the first Neighbor album, Point Black, in its entirety, as played on stage by Soulfly. As a Sepultura fan since I first heard Arise in 1991, it was an extreme honor to sit down with one of my bucket list interviewees in Maxcaballe라. We talked about family, revisiting his Sepultura material, the future of Soulfly and his other project, and a host of other topics. Short and sweet though, but the interview maybe. Max is always eloquent and it is a huge pleasure to sit down with him. The gig that night was stupendous. Soulfly burned through Point Black, and it was a vicious reminder of how groundbreaking that record was when I first heard it in 1993. The gig was rounded out by Today is the Day, who are never not incredible live Lodicon containing Max's sons, Sion and Igor, Young Bucks Uncured, and Local Hellchamber. Here is my interview with Maxcavalle라. What's going on with the new Soulfly album? Where is it at as far as pop production? It still needs to be mixed. Joshua Burns is mixing. He produced the album with me. Man, it's cool. It's like a hybrid of Soulfly and some thrashy stuff. I call it tribal thrash. Josh is a big fan of Andy Wallace, who produced the Chaos 80, and at first this record reminded me of Chaos 80. We were talking about how the record had this real classic feel to it, much like Chaos, but now that I think more about it, and at that time, I had not finishing recording two songs, Ritual and Bite the Bullet. But now that I've sung them, the record seems more tribal to me, so I'm calling it tribal thrash because that's closer to the reality of what the record's gonna be like. You and Igor recently finished up the Return to Roots tour, where you were playing the Roots album and it's entirely in the set. Do you guys have any design on going out on the road again, doing more Sepultura classics? We're gonna take it slow, little by little, and if the time calls for it and we are ready, I'm sure we'll tackle other records. I would love to do Arise or Cow Sadie or Beneath the Remains. All this stuff is cool. 2018 is also the 30th anniversary of Schizophrenia, and also the 20th anniversary of the first Soulfly record. So we'll see little by little. This year going to be heavily concentrated on the new Soulfly album, but I'll be booking Cavalera Conspiracy toward the end of the year, and then probably Killer Be Killed next year. Alex Newport from Fudge Turner was the other original half of the album, and now you've got Soulfly playing the Nailbomb album. What was his involvement as far as this whole reunion? Have you been in contact with him directly? Personally? Directly? No. But Gloria's been emailing with him. He was actually really helpful on the shaping of this tour. He's got the original samples from the album sessions and sent them to us so we could use them on stage. Alex sent us a bunch of that tape with the original samples and explained exactly where they go. We got his blessing for the tour. He didn't want to be on it, but he totally gave us his blessing and said, "Go for it. We might do something together in the future. Always possibility. I'd love for him to produce Sion and Igor's band, Lodicon. It'd be full circle with that whole connection with family and Nailbomb." That kind of perfectly segues into my next question. Sepultura was very much a family affair when you and Igor were part of it, and Nailbomb too, as Alex was married to Gloria's daughters. Now you're out on the road with your two sons, with them doing double duty both as the opening act in Lodicon and as member of the current Soulfly band. What is it like for you to be out on the road playing with your sons? It's pretty fun, man. As a dad, it was a dream when they were born that we could all jam at this someday. And little by little, we got there. Early on, as children, they both went through a phase where they didn't like metal. They were into hip-hop, but then they got into metal and they became metalheads. Both of them are very different. Igor's more like me, likes much heavier stuff, more extreme metal, whereas Zion is more into the classics like Sabbath and old Metallica. Of newer bands, I think he likes threathy stuff, and though they are not so new, Deftones. It's cool. Every night we are having a lot of fun. As a dad, it's phenomenal. Do you ever foresee doing a tour with both your two sons as well as your brother Igor? Doing a project with all four of us, like a family project? Sure, it could happen. They are definitely good enough to do it. We'll see what happens. I kind of want to slow down a little bit after the new Soulfly record, 'cause I've been going non-stop, and this touring gets really demanding physically and mentally. And I'm at an exhaustion point right now because the Soulfly record, it drained me. I want to jam a little bit of Killer Be Killed, but that's later. For now, just stay on the road for a while. That's my plan. I'm having so much fun. Nailbomb is so fun. Man, it's hard to describe. It's just fun. Pure punk rock, fuck you, in your face fun. Point Blank was such a game changer. For me and a lot of people, we were just discovering bands like Ministry at the same time. And now along comes Max from Sepultura and Alex from first tunnel doing this industrial metal band, and their one-upping ministry going even heavier with an industrial sound. We took the ideas of ministry and made it heavier and punk. At the time, we were listening to a lot of Godflesh frontline assembly. Alex had a big records collection, a lot of Big Black and Steve Albini stuff, Dead Kennedys. It was really our own curiosity in a world that wasn't really ours. Neither me nor Alex were really from the industrial scenes at all. He was doing first tunnel, which was like heavy as hell, and my background was all metals, so it was cool because it was a real innocent approach in a real honest way and a real curiosity. Maybe we wanted to see like how would this sound? How would it sound to go really heavy but with a ministry sound or 9-inch nail sound? Like this song, for fuck's sake, it's very 9-inch nails to me, like a blend of 9-inch nails and Sepultura, like the two of them put together. The beginning, the drums imitate the drum machine's track intro to the song. The whole thing sounds like old 9-inch nails, and then you get the thresh, and it sounds like Sepultura thresh. There's even a little bit of dance stuff on it, like words of shit and religious cancer. It's a kind of dance, like the drum machine makes it kind of dancey, industrial. It's clear industrial was a big influence at the time, but I can't see dance tracks being an influence on Maxcavalera. Not really. I mean, I listened to a lot of different stuff. I remember all the time, out of curiosity, checking out stuff like New Order, Bauhaus, Joy Division, and Killing Joke, of course. But I think that was probably more Alex creating the rhythms and programming patterns on the drum machines. I was really involved with the drum machines for the album, although I do that on all my own original writing for Soulfly or Cavalera Conspiracy, where I will program my drum machines. But for Nailbomb, I let Alex do it. He was so much better at it than me. I just go with the riffs. You guys did a one-off gig at Dynamo in 1993, but were there ever any plans for you to tour Neighbor more extensively at the time? At the time, the things that makes it difficult for that to happen, you see, is Alex hates crowds. He hates the noise of the crowds. When he told me that, my jaw dropped. Like, what? You can't be in a band. This blows my mind. But he was really into the record. And we did the live show in Holland in front of I can't pronounce 120,000 people. And we assembled a huge amount of people to play on stage, like all these cool musicians. Dave from Neurosis, Rice from Frontline Assembly, Pellegro from the Dead Kennedys, me and Igor. So Dynamo was a big production just for the show, which is one of the things we kind of thought about, there were two ways it could go. One would have been maybe making a super group and go out touring it about, or the other ideas was having Soulfly play. And I leaned a little bit more toward having Soulfly play it. The idea of putting the weight and the power of Soulfly behind that music was really interesting to me, because it would turn those songs into organic, real songs that would translate live better. And now we've started throwing While You Sleep, I Destroy Your World into the set too. We bang the songs out one after the other in the order of the records. It's pretty cool. I try not to talk too much between the songs. It's almost like an unfriendly vibe on purpose, because that's how Abrams seems like to me when I watch the Dynamo video. We come off very cool to the crowd, not in the sense that we didn't want to be there, but it's like it's angry you were there, but you're angry, pissed off. We tried to do that with this tool.